Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. This podcast is part of our continuing outreach efforts, and the format is conversation. We're having conversations with businesses, professionals, entrepreneurs, community agencies, and in all cases, difference makers. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So subscribe today. Take 20 minutes and hear from people living in your community who are making a difference in your community. It's time to get started with Sweet Talk. Hello, everyone. This is Jason Batalden, the Assistant Director at Continuing Education Workforce Training. And hello, and I can't say welcome, Paul, because that means I have to hit the timer. So now I just
just say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming to Sweet Talk. Right there we go. Thanks. For listening.
Hey, Jason, how long have you been doing this?
I'm not sure, Paul, if we do it the same way every time.
No, we don't. That's the one thing. Maybe everyone who listens to the show on a regular basis, the one or two out there, knows that we don't really, other than the timer stick we have, we don't have like a set format for anything.
No.
But that kind of keeps it a little more, open and loose, so that we can do what we want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we can do what we want. So I mean, we could sit here and not even introduce our guests.
We could, but we have Gary with us today. Gary was a staple of the show in the early few seasons, but now we don't get to have him on as often on the show as often.
Yeah,
Gary,
I know.
Welcome to the show, Gary. I'm glad you're here today.
Hey, thank you guys. You've taken the show a long way, so I'm glad to come back every now and then. Really appreciate the visit.
Thank you.
Gary used to be the main host guy,
I know.
but he's got so much on his plate. It's like
you check out some of those first season episodes.
Yeah, they were kind of soft and not as good as what they are today. The two of you really bring the repartee to it. Thanks.
Well, we have a full house today, don't we?
We do. And we've got a pretty cool guest on the show today, Dr. Henry O, who is the department chair and clinical professor for the health occupations program here at the College of Tech at Idaho State University, is agreed to be on the show today. And the reality is department chair title is just one of the many titles that you possess. But before we talk about all those wonderful different titles and accolades and things that you have earned, I have to say the official word, and the official word is welcome.
Welcome.
So, Henry, welcome to the show, and thank you for being a guest on our Sweet Talk.
You're very welcome, and thank you also for inviting me to join your talk show. It's my pleasure.
Well, it's not much of a talk show. We do have some loyal listeners, don't we, Jason?
Oh, we do.
Yeah. So Henry, I go back. I met you when you first interviewed for your position. Is that correct?
Correct.
I was filming you, and I had needed to put a mic on you, and that's the very first time that we've ever met. Now, since then, I've actually helped you with some video projects over time. But I'm, I know that you're the health coordinator for the College of Technology. But what does that really mean?
Well, my primary job is to manage and supervise at least 10 programs in the health occupations. And this include physical therapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant, respiratory therapy, nursing, pharmacy, health information technology. And then in nursing, we have 3 kinds of program, which is the RN, LPN, and the veterans nursing.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That sounds like quite a number of programs. Now, you've been here with the College of Technology for how long now?
2 years.
2 years. Wow. It seems like just the other day I was asked, hey, you need to wear this mic. um, so, so in your capacity as in your position, what do I mean, do you enjoy the position? Do you find it challenging or, I know what I do every day and I know I enjoy my job, but I mean, what do you get out of your job?
Oh, well, I really like my job. I really enjoy, and one of the things that I really like is my faculty and my staff. I have a very good group of faculty. They're very competent, very efficient, and my staff. We have like 3 admin assistants in the department. So I get the opportunity to really know my faculty because I sit down with them, all of them individually, and talk about their needs, what their goals are. So I know more of my faculty, and in that way, I'm able to help them if they have some needs. And then I don't stay in my office. I really walk around.
I noticed that. I noticed that.
Yeah. And I also go to the once in a while I go to the classroom. I talk to the students.
Oh, yeah, I think that's very important, keeping that communication up with students, getting that face-to-face feedback.
So Henry, I alluded to this earlier in the intro, and you please don't forgive me for, I guess, but there's you are an official world record holder, isn't that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Can you mind sharing with what exactly you are the world record holder in?
So the official title is the professor who earned the highest number of post-nominal credentials.
Really?
So which means to say I have a very long title after my name. I have a very short name, but very long title. So actually, I didn't even realize that I have accumulated so much that it was about a year ago when one of my colleagues mentioned to me, Henry, do you think you have so many titles? Do you think you hold the world record? I said, oh, I don't think so. There are so many people who may have that already. Then about 2 months ago, the same colleague of mine mentioned, don't you want to try to list down the titles? Just try to make a list. So I did that. And to my surprise, I said, there's actually 33. That doesn't include the academic degree, just the 33. These are professional credentials.
Wow. How does someone accumulate 33 titles?
Well, I kind of want to jump off that same thought, Paul. It's not so much, from my impression, it's not you were in the business of accumulating credentials for the sake of accumulating credentials, right? So there's this commitment to continuing education or continued learning that is what seems to be what, from my perspective, what drives that.
Yeah, what motivated me, because I want to be very effective and efficient in how I help the students and other people. So if I see this is one area, I said, I don't have that skill. I don't have that competency. I want to learn that. It helps me on all these years. It has helped actually me to be more effective because I have the background, I have the foundation, so I kind of know how to approach the students and the faculty or my colleagues or friends, and I actually help many people build their career. So it's like trying to be multi-skilled. Yeah.
Right. So when did that, I mean, I guess for you, where did you go? Where did it start? With your bachelor's degree? Or, I mean, did you get an associate's degree first? Or what was the first degree you earned after your high school diploma?
I first earned a bachelor degree in medical lab technology.
Okay.
Or sometimes they call it the clinical laboratory science.
Okay.
And where did you earn that degree?
I earned a degree from the University of Santo Tomas. That's in the Philippines.
Right on. And then it just sort of snowballed from there, so to speak. You just, after that, you went to what?
After that, actually, I studied respiratory therapy as a scholar, full scholar. I was given by the company a full scholarship. So when I did that, I was actually in the Middle East. And I happened to be in the Middle East during the Gulf War in the 1990s.
Wow. Why?
I was hired by a British company to go there. It was on the eastern side of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Excellent. So, all right. So Philippines, Middle East. Okay, Henry, where else have you been?
I was in the Middle East like 5 years. So 5 years. So when there was the war broke out there, we were prepared. We have prepared with all the ventilators. We prepared 50 ventilators, but we ended up ventilating burn patients because we had a big industrial explosion. Burn patients.
Oh, okay.
That's why most of my clinical experiences were actually in trauma.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
It's trauma. You mentioned it, head trauma, chest trauma, all those things. So, and I worked side by side with the EMT paramedic.
Okay.
So I think, go ahead. Sorry.
No, well, I just thought I made this assumption that Henry's experience was just all academic. I didn't know that, I didn't know this other thing. I just see Henry in the halls. Hi, Henry. And I just make these assumptions that it's all academic. That's good. Now I'm kind of curious on that, how that affected you. I mean, to be out in a foreign country working on trauma patients, I mean, that's a high stress field as it is, and you're away from home, and things are different and they're unfamiliar. That must have been quite stressful, or at least different from. I can't imagine.
Yeah, the situation. There were situations where it was so stressful, especially when there were disasters that would happen. Sometimes the disaster would happen at night, so we have to run to the trauma center, emergency room, those things. But what I learned there is how to work with people from different background, because it's multicultural.
Oh yeah.
That's why that was my first experience with cultural diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So which has helped me all these years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's interesting, I guess, too, is, so, I mean, this pursuit of learning to learn new skills, and now you're a department chair, right? And so it's sort of, your learning now has manifested itself into teaching and helping others. For me, that would seem very a natural progression. But do you know, for you, when that kind of changed, when you said, okay, I want to kind of take this back and to kind of help others learn and teach others?
Actually, that's a very good observation, because all my experiences, clinical experiences, when I went into teaching, it has helped me a lot when I teach in the class. Because when I teach every theory, I could relate it right away with the clinical experience. So it made more sense to the student. It made their learning more meaningful. And teaching is actually my strongest asset. I like teaching. When I enter the classroom, I am really at home. And I'm really proud to be a teacher. That was my goal. Just want to be a classroom teacher.
So Henry, I mean, in your position, do you get a chance to teach?
I didn't get the
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry, Henry. In your position, do you get a chance to teach?
Uh, not not really, because I there are 10 programs. If I still teach, I it will be. Although once in a while I go to respiratory therapy to teach the class, just to help out,
Uh-huh.
and I go give some advice to the students. Yeah, I do that, especially how to prepare for the national board exam.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
must be really helpful. I mean, they go through the program, and that's the one thing I see is, you have all these students going through these programs, but they still have to ta pass an exam that's unrelated to the university or the college, and that you have no control of it other than maybe prepping them. And I know that's a very stressful point for some students in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I talk to the students about how to prepare for the national board, because if you remember, I have so many credentials after my name. I have taken so many exams already. So I tell the
You-
student it's not enough just to know the subject matter. You have to prepare physiologically, mentally. Your body needs to be prepared, need to be ready.
yeah, you've had plenty of practice taking exams, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now, now you have a upcoming event, don't you? At the end of the month?
Yeah, there are actually two events coming up.
Yeah, tell us about those.
One is on July 19 on Monday, where I will get the opportunity to meet our city mayor, Mayor Brian Blood, and they also have a guest mayor there, the little mayor, and it's happened his name is Henry, the little mayor.
The little
So it's actually a proclamation day.
Okay, and what's the
It,
proclamation?
it's gonna be called Dr. Henry O. Health Education Day, to be
Wow.
Oh,
proclaimed
right
by the,
on.
Wow.
and the mayor will present to me the certificate from the world record,
Uh-huh.
and there's a gold medal also that came from UK. So I think the little Henry will present that to me.
Oh,
So
very good.
so this
Very
is in
good.
recognition of all your credentials.
Correct.
That's great. That is great. And this is next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday.
So we're talking about anyone listening to this podcast later on, that we're talking about July 19th of
Correct.
2021. Well, that is great. And I would imagine that you're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and that day is very significant to me because July 19 is the birthday anniversary of my late mom, my late mother.
Oh.
And I was talking to my sister a week ago. I told her that I think both of our parents would be present during the proclamation indirectly, just a representation, because there's the little Henry, because my late dad's name is Henry too. I'm a junior.
Oh, okay.
So there's the little Henry, and then it's gonna happen on July 19th, the birthday anniversary of my late mom.
Oh,
Very well.
wow.
Wow. I'm assuming Henry, that this inspiration to learn new skills was influenced very heavily by your parents and by you growing up. You didn't just stumble into this idea, I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's one of the main motivations for me, because my parents my dad never graduated from high school, and my late mom never graduated from the grade school.
Oh,
So I'm a first generation college graduate. So,
And
wow.
but education, I'm assuming, was very important to them, or your education was important to them.
my education was very important to them because
Yeah.
they really tried to support me when I was doing the bachelor degree. Then after that, I supported myself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Right. But I think that that's just a neat testimony to parents, that can value the importance of education, are able to pass that value on. And I think, Henry, if I might say, it's obvious that education and continuing learning is valued to you, just not by what you achieve, by what you're also sharing, in your position as department chair, right? You may not get back in the student classroom as much as you want, but you still have a lot of influence, especially with the instructors and the program. And so, I mean, it's just neat to kind of see that full circle, right? To achieve, and then to give back and help others achieve. I think that's really the purpose of education.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So you have a couple. Oh, so I was just going to say, I'm going to kind of go off script for just a minute, Henry. Don't get too upset with me. But I know that you are talented in many areas. But one is actually reflected in your tie.
My tie this is actually a keyboard.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you see in the background, there's a picture there, me sitting on I'm pointing to the wrong direction here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So when I started to play the piano when I was 9 years old, I just used to watch my cousins when the piano teacher would come to their house to teach. I was just watching, and that time my parents, they couldn't afford me to have me a music lesson, so I was just watching. Then after they have their lesson, I would practice myself. So I kept on practicing, and until one day, it was already in high school, there was a competition, piano competition. So I joined that, and they were so surprised when they saw me play the piano. They never thought that I was actually practicing.
Playing.
Yeah. So I was the grand champion. I won the piano competition.
Oh, did you really?
Wow.
Yeah. But I learned it on my own.
Right.
I read notes, and then in Canada, I was discovered by accident in one of actually it was in Whistler, the ski resort.
Right.
My friends and I, we went to this huge hotel. It looked like a castle, and there was a grand piano in the corner, and I started playing. And later, the restaurant manager approached me. He asked me if I could perform in the bar. I told him I don't really perform in public. He said, no, just come later, and so I went. So I played the piano. There were so many people. It was so noisy, people talking, drinking.
Sure.
So the manager told me, I want you to play full volume in the piano. So I played the theme song of the Titanic. After that, I got a standing ovation. Then they asked me to play more. I ended up playing 10 songs.
Wow. Wow.
When I was done, the manager presented me with a contract. He said, can you play here every weekend in the lobby, not in the bar, but in the lobby. And that's how people came to know me, and I got invited to perform in other events, like fundraising events for the church and other people. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
A great story.
So cool. I heard the timer go off, but but before we need to mention the other event at the end of the month.
Oh.
Yeah, the other event is it will be on July 29, but I won't be able to attend because we have a retreat on July 30. So I will be a virtual attendee. I will be receiving the Authors Award as a writer.
Okay, and what is that?
Well, I wrote a textbook last year, and it was published in the spring of this year. And that's actually, it's called a clinically oriented approach to anatomy and physiology. And that's the textbook we use in our A&P class here.
So you're getting an award for writing a textbook in one of the fields that you're an expert in.
Yeah, yeah, that's one
Wow.
of the reasons, but it's also the other articles that I wrote before that I contributed. So
Wow. You are an amazing man.
I was going to say.
But one of the greatest things about Henry, is he has a drawer full of O. Henry bars in his desk.
it's right here. Can you see it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we can.
Sometimes that's how I introduce my name. I said, you reverse it, it's O. Henry. At the airport and immigration, sometimes they ask me, do you own that company? I said, I wish.
No, you might have to make it a goal. I'm under the impression, Henry, if you make a goal, it will happen. So I tell you what, I appreciate your time today for this discussion. And it's kind of nice to see sort of a Renaissance man, right? Who has many different experiences and can do many different things and self-taught. And if there's not some inspiration in there, if you cannot find inspiration in your story, or if somebody can't find inspiration in your story, Henry, that person is not paying attention real well. So thank you. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Henry, thank you so much for coming in today and making the rest of us all feel like slackers.
No. I'm inspired. I'm encouraged.
Really? I feel like a slacker now.
Well, maybe Henry can give you some therapy. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Henry, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it. Hey, Jason, don't forget to give that all important information at the end.
So if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach out to us at cetrain.isu.edu. That's our website. You can email us at cetrain@isu.edu, right? Or you can call us at 208-282-3372.
Woo!
I did it.
Hey, Gary, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it's been great. Congratulations, Henry. Nicely done. I hope to see you in the mayor's office.
So thank you very much, guys, for inviting me. I really enjoyed our conversation.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. All right, Harry, thank you so much.